Merit to our devotee care course by our sweet Kirtan. Thank you. Yes, please continue your service. Hare Krishna. I hope you all have breakfast today morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
That's better. We'll chant the invocation prayers. Om Gyan Pindirandasya Nandana Shalakaya Chakshurandritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Vidapitam Yena Bhutale Swayamrupa Kadavanya Tadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudavadamadam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Pramsha He Krishna Garuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Paridanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharye Nirvishesha Shuddhavadi Ashrapta Deshakarye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. I'd like to welcome everyone. This is our day 3 of this Devotee seminar, and some amongst you have been here from the day 1, and many were there yesterday, and today also some new devotees have joined today. But nonetheless, we will continue. Welcome everyone. Those who have come today, the first session, to the third session, even if you are present for the first session today, or for the first time, you will also be able to grasp what we discussed today. Okay, yesterday we discussed about the vision of devotee care. Can someone briefly paraphrase the vision of devotee care defined by the GPC? You can just try. Yes, good. Kirtida.
Take care of spiritual. Devotee care means, if I remember correctly, to take care of your spiritual, mental, and physical self.
Good. That's good. Devotee care to take care of our physical self, emotional, even intellectual, social, spiritual, in various aspects. That's good. Can someone, in the vision statement, each devotee is, there were 3 phrases. Can someone recall that? The exact vision statement. What you spoke is good point, very much connected. But if someone can recall, each devotee is, first term, most important term for the vision is, every devotee in ISKCON is, yeah, good, Prabhu, good, spiritually happy. We want everyone to be spiritually happy. And there is happiness only on the spiritual platform, actually. And the spirit soul by nature is happy. Right? So the artificial covering has to be uncovered. So okay, each devotee is spiritually happy. Then second point, well situated, or we can say externally or materially well situated. Materially well situated. Third thing, spiritually happy, materially well situated. The third thing, the third important phrase. Yes, good, Dhananjay Prabhu. Yeah, positively identifying with ISKCON as a caring society, a positive identification that we belong to ISKCON. We belong to ISKCON, we belong to Guru and Krishna. So in this way, positively identifying with ISKCON as a caring society. To do that, individually what should a person do? Individually to be able to achieve this vision, spiritually happy, materially well situated, identifying with ISKCON as a caring society. What should a person do? Three things again: self-care, seek care and extend care. We need to identify our own area that we need to care for ourselves. That self-care is important. And if required, we have to take help. We have to take someone's help. Seek care. That I need this kind of care. If you are staying, you don't have warm beddings, you may ask, can I get one extra blanket? Identify your need. Ask for it. This is a small thing. Sometimes we feel very shy not to express our need, which may be genuine, legitimate needs. So, self-care, seek care, and then once we care for ourselves, extend it. Just like Lord Chaitanya said, Janma sartha kari kar par upkar. Perfect your own life, then help others. So therefore this is the vision statement. And care has two aspects we discussed. Day before also, yesterday also. Care has two aspects. Can someone just recall?
Change of heart.
Yes, Dhananjay Prabhu?
Change of heart and taking action.
Once again?
Change of heart and taking action.
Taking action.
Action and?
Change of heart.
Change of heart.
Change of heart, okay. It's a value of the heart, virtue. So the care, when we say the word care, it has two categories of meaning. One is, care is a virtue of the heart. Virtue means quality. Just like we say, bhakti. Bhakti is the quality of the heart, devotion, feeling of the heart, or quality of the heart. But Prabhupada translated bhakti as devotional service. That feeling of the heart should manifest as action. Just like someone says, oh, I love you so much, I love you so much. It's like, what love? You don't even remember today is my birthday. What kind of love is that? Right? Or you don't remember today is our anniversary. You haven't brought anything and you just say, I love you, I love you. Where is the action? It doesn't manifest. So the feeling of the heart should manifest as an action also. Therefore Prabhupada translated his genius since he translated bhakti as devotional service. There is a feeling of the heart, that feeling should manifest as action. That feeling should manifest as action. So therefore care has its two aspects. And the vision statement of devotee care. How are we going to achieve the vision? How are we going to achieve the vision? To achieve the vision, we need to have some mission. So the mission statement means what are we going to do to achieve the vision? That everyone is spiritually happy, materially well situated, identifying with ISKCON as a caring society. What are we going to do to achieve this vision? That is mission. Now can someone recall? Mission has two aspects which are related to these two meanings of the word care. Alright, Dhananjay Prabhu is recalling everything because he is translating into French, so he is hearing very carefully. I congratulate you. I would like others, I would like to give chance to others. Yes, can someone recall mission statement which is in relation to the two aspects of care? Okay, never mind. Yes, Dhananjay Prabhu. Oh, no one is responding, so
Principles and values.
Principles and values are different. The mission statement has two parts which are related to the two meanings of the word care. Fine, that's alright. So our mission is, we will spread this virtue, this quality of care throughout ISKCON. How are we going to spread that? We are going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it again and again. That means we will spread education. How do the values and the virtues spread? By talking about it. The more we discuss, the more that value will spread. Just like the parents, they will always, like today morning, I gave some prasadam to Sangeeta, daughter of Lochana Prabhu. And immediately Lochana Prabhu said, and she immediately started eating. He said, oh, wait. Say thank you first. Right? So we again and again remind, talk about it. It's important to say thank you. And talking about it, we develop the virtue of gratitude. You see? So when we keep talking about something, we develop that virtue gradually. So we are going to talk about devotee care. How important is devotee care in ISKCON? From the scriptures, there are so many examples. From Prabhupada's life, there are so many examples. So we are going to talk about devotee care. That is one thing. But not just that, simply, talking is not enough. We also have to walk our talk. How are we going to walk our talk? We are going to talk about devotee care to spread the virtue, but we are also going to provide caring services to devotees. We are going to provide caring services to devotees. So, support, either support or provide caring services. So our community of devotees need many, diverse kind of support system. Different devotees have different needs. We'll look into that, and we need to provide and support various caring services in the community. That is our mission. We will talk about it and also going to walk the talk. Any question before we proceed ahead? Yes, Raga Prabhu.
So, what do we mean by care?
What do we mean by care? Care, what do we mean by care? That we discuss elaborately. There are various meanings of care. As I said, basically two broad categories. One thing is the feeling of the heart, which is like love, empathy, concern. This as far as the value is concerned. And what about the second aspect of care? Practical action, service. Right? Service. So, into action when we put it, we take some responsibility, some kind of ownership of some service when we put it to. So, this person is taking care of the deities. Means what? Serving them. Serving them. So, there are two broad meanings of the care. And the quality of the heart, virtue, and also as practical action. Fine. So some more, anything else? Okay, I should keep it close. Okay, thank you. Thank you for reminding. I have to be more careful to see that. And Mother Gaurangi, if I'm speaking too fast, you please raise your hand, I will slow down. Okay? I really appreciate. Actually, Mother Gaurangi made such an important point yesterday. I loved it. She said, we were talking of one principle of listening, and there is a quality of empathy. In listening, there should be empathy. And she said, the teacher should have empathy to understand, to find out whether the student is understanding or not. When I am speaking, it's my responsibility as a teacher to see, are the students understanding? So that's a very important point. So if I speak too fast, you just raise your hand, I will understand that I have to a little bit slow down or pause. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we have a little way over here. Yes, we can take this. Take this. Okay, if any of you need this cushion, we have many cushions at back. Yeah, you can put under the lotus feet this cushion. The floor is cold. Can you please do the same of passing it down whoever needs? Okay, then at the back also. Please, yes. Simon Prabhu, you can pass on the cushion whoever may need. The floor is cold. Okay, so then also we discussed yesterday, there are certain principles and certain values in relation to devotee care. Can someone tell what is the principle? When we say principle? Example, define the principle. Define. How do you define a principle? Yes? Oh, good. Principle means universal truth. Principle means universal truth. Universal truth, principles are universal truth. Like, it's not a question of God is one, it's a universal truth. Or in general, universal truth when we are saying, at least within the context of ISKCON, we all agree upon that. Just like the principle is, Prabhupada gave the principle, preaching in the essence. It's a principle for all of us. Preaching in the essence. We all accept that we want to preach Krishna consciousness. And so there are certain principles which are applicable globally, we can say. Right? Applicable globally. All over ISKCON, the same principles are valid. Welcome your guests. Right? All ISKCON temples would like to welcome the guests. Prabhupada wanted us. The scripture says, welcome your guests. It's a principle. What is the value? Now, we discussed yesterday principle and value. So principles are universal truths. And the values are required virtues to practice those. Like, preaching in the sense is the principle. Preach Krishna consciousness. What is the value required for that? What is the value, the inherent quality of the heart that is required to practice this principle? Purity, okay. Purity, even if a person doesn't have, fine, good, with a person who has purity of the heart can preach, fine. Something else? Compassion. Compassion is the foremost value. To preach Krishna consciousness, person needs some compassion, kindness, and we become instruments of the compassion of great devotees. So these are the principles and values, just to understand. Now, we discussed 6 principles in relation to devotee care. And Madhan Prabhu also showed you those principles through some actions, the mudras. So it is easy for you to recall. Now, please raise your hand and recall any one principle out of 6. Okay, we'll start with Mother Rasvilasi. Mother Rasvilasi.
An example.
Okay, the first and the foremost principle for devotee care is Prabhupada's own teaching and example. Prabhupada has taught us and exemplified devotee care. We have discussed several examples. Good. Yes, Jyoti Prabhu, some other principle? Loving relationships. Loving relationships is a universal principle. Good. And the value of the heart is love and affection. For Prabhupada's teaching, what is the value of the heart? His teaching and example. Value of the corresponding value is wisdom and realization. Good. Wisdom and realization. Fine. Some more principles we discussed yesterday. Vaishnava Seva. For Vaishnava Seva, one of the most important value is expertise. Good. Your name? Yeah, Mother Krishna Charana. Expertise. All expertise comes from the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Krishna Charana. Yes. So that is the Vaishnava Seva, expertise. We have covered 3. Some more. Listening. Good. Listening. What's the value for listening? Okay. We already discussed in the class. Empathy. We need to have empathy to listen out to somebody. That's nice. Some more principles that we discussed yesterday. 2 are remaining. Sorry. Vaishnava Seva has been covered. Expertise is required.
Positive sense of belonging.
Okay. The positive sense of belonging is pertaining to something else. Yes. Yeah, positive sense of belonging. Good. This is a principle. What's the corresponding value? Gratitude. Very good. Positive sense of belonging is the principle. Gratitude is the value. Last one, spirited leadership. Right? Spirited leadership, like that. So, what's the value of spirited leadership? Responsibility. Okay, good. Thank you for recalling those principles and values. remember, it's important to understand the principles and the values behind any practice. Like, we went on a yatra to Srila Mayapur in 2001, and we were 350 devotees from Bombay, 2001. They gave a garland to every devotee. Can you imagine? When we entered the campus, they were standing with a huge, hand thela. A huge hand cart. They had a garlands and they offered a garland to everyone. And we went to Tokyo just some time back. In Tokyo, the flowers are so expensive that even the deities don't get a garland daily. Only on Sundays they make a fresh garland for deities. Daily they can't afford. And while 350 devotees got a garland, every devotee was welcomed with a garland, which is a Mayapur, 2001. Okay, so just imagine, every devotee is being offered a garland, and some places even the deities don't get a garland. Right? So what do we learn from here? One sense, when we came, someone says, wow, such a wonderful way of welcoming devotees. We will also welcome everyone to Tokyo with a garland. The temple will go bankrupt. Therefore, we cannot pick up practice of one place and give it to another. We should understand what's the principle, what's the value. The principle is welcome the guest. If not flower, right, we need to have the right required value, hospitality. Expression could be different. But principle is the same. You want to welcome the guest. So you could, there are some special berries which come in Japan, if you offer that, they are very exceptional in taste. So like some local thing can be offered to welcome the guest. What I am saying, details aside, if the principle is understood behind any practice, then we can apply the principle and also try to, and if there is a difficulty in applying the principle, then we go further deep down, what is the value required to apply the principle. The devotees may lack that value. And therefore we have to discuss about it. We have to discuss about it, help the devotee inculcate that value, and then apply the principle. That's the importance of principle and the values. One important principle we discussed yesterday, in continuation, is responsibility. That is the value. And the principle is leadership, spiritual leadership. Of course, we all need to be responsible, even if we are not leaders. We all are responsible. We are responsible. We have got the human form of life, we have responsibility. We have various roles to play. As a husband has a responsibility toward the wife, toward the children. The wife has a responsibility toward the family, and so on and so forth. We all as devotees, we have responsibility. Prabhupada said, now that you are a devotee, everyone look up to you. If you misbehave, your Guru and Krishna will blame you. So we have responsibility as devotees to behave properly. So we all have responsibility. But especially the leaders, because they are in the limelight, they have to be even more responsible. So once Prabhupada appointed a devotee, asked him to be temple president. And the devotee said, Prabhupada, what does it mean to be a temple president? Prabhupada said, if anything goes wrong in the temple, you are responsible. So one word to describe, the post, your temple president means it's a responsibility. It's a responsibility. And the facility is there, the position and the post is there, and the facility is there, the resources are there to execute the responsibility. That is important. So that's what Prabhupada highlighted. So, now, I'll share one example of Lord Chaitanya, how he cared for his devotees. He is the Lord of devotee care. Lord Chaitanya himself. He was staying in a room called Gambhira at Jagannath Puri. And who was the person who was staying with him in that room, in the small room?
Govinda.
No, Govinda was not staying. Govinda was serving him. See, wait a minute. Sarup Damodar was not staying with him in that room. No. Sarvam Bhattacharya could not fit in. Huh?
Paramananda Puri.
No. Paramananda Puri is the spiritual master. He is on the level of spiritual master, Paramananda Puri. There was a devotee staying with Lord Chaitanya in that room. And Sarup Damodar said, you stay with Lord Chaitanya so that Lord Chaitanya doesn't rub his face against the wall. At night he would be in so much ecstasy, he would sometimes hurt himself. Not Shikhi Mahiti. Huh? Not Gadadhar. His name is Shankar Pandit. Shankar Pandit. Is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita? Shankar Pandit slept with the Lord in Gambhira so the Lord doesn't hurt himself. And during the winter season, Shankar Pandit would sometimes a little bit shiver out of cold at night. And Lord Chaitanya would be taking rest. He would suddenly wake up in his own ecstasy. He would see Shankar Pandit is shivering out of cold. Lord would take off his blanket and put on Shankar Pandit. So just imagine, he has come to give the highest love of the spiritual world, but he would, Lord Chaitanya would also give a blanket to Shankar Pandit. Remove his own blanket, put over Shankar Pandit. And Shankar Pandit would then nicely sleep, he'll feel warm. Now, another amazing example. Lord Chaitanya was meeting all the devotees and he saw Vasudeva Dutt Thakur. And he said, of course, Vasudeva Dutt Thakur was so much compassionate. He prayed for the deliverance of all. He prayed that I may take the sin of all. Not just that. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes. Can we increase the volume a little bit of this?
Yeah, but
You speak too fast.
Okay, so you want me to slow down or increase the volume? Both. Increase the volume and slow down the pace. Okay. Okay, good, fine. So,
not loud enough.
It's a little fast.
okay, fine. Volume is okay, right? Volume is okay. Volume is okay, yeah. Conditioned. I'm a conditioned soul, so I have to make an effort.
Because you are responsible. You want to finish your course.
We don't want to finish, we want to teach. So Prabhu is responsible. Dhananjay Prabhu has the responsibilities helping me to make sure that all the students, they understand the course. I don't want to finish. I want to make sure, my responsibility is to make sure that all the students understand. Thank you for Dhananjay Prabhu for reminding. Yeah, so Vasudeva Dutt Thakur is another great compassionate devotee of the Lord. He was not just he prayed for the deliverance of all, he was so liberal. Whatever he would earn, he would just give it away as charity to the devotees and people in general. He would just give everything away. He would not save anything for himself. And Lord Chaitanya became concerned. He called Shivanand sane. He said, look, he is so liberal. Vasudeva Dutt Thakur is so liberal that he just, whatever he gets, he spends it. Not on himself, on the devotees. For the devotees he just gives them everything, give the gifts, help the needy and so on and so forth. He has no savings. He is a grahastha. He must have savings. You become his finance manager. Just imagine, Lord Chaitanya is concerned about the financial savings of Vasudeva Dutt Thakur. And he appointed another devotee, you become his financial manager. Just think about it. You become his financial manager. He must have saving the other guys. He didn't say, I will provide, let him spend. I will provide. Krishna is providing everything, but no, it is his duty to say, but he is so liberal, let someone else support him. So devotees need to complement each other. Like I may not be good in something, but someone is good in that, within a community can provide support. Do you see how the community of devotees support each other? Whatever I lack, the other devotees, they support, they help. In this way, that is the communities of care. And Lord Chaitanya, this is an example of financial service. Lord is concerned about that also. He has come to give the highest wealth of the spiritual world. Just imagine, no one has given what Lord Chaitanya has given. The highest wealth of the spiritual world. But he is also concerned that he should have some savings in this material world while we are here. It is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is the highest scripture of Gaudiya Vaishnava. Think about it. Okay, so now that I have stimulated your thought process, tell me what are the different areas where the community of devotees need to support each other. Just like Lord Chaitanya said, you, Shivanand Sen, support Vasudeva Thakur by being his finance manager. What are the different areas where the devotees and devotee community have to support? What kind of support is needed? You can raise hand and then speak. Yes, Madhan Asmi Devi.
Education.
Education, good.
Yes. Marriage. Counseling. One of the guests.
One. There are so many. So, Madhan Asmi has already covered education, counseling for Grahasthas, and especially marriage counseling. Marriage, premarital, during the marriage, after the marriage. At all stages. So, we need counseling at all the stages, and also you mentioned education. Good. Some more areas. Yes, Prabhu, tell me your name and
Job opportunities to work with devotees. Job opportunities.
Job opportunities, yes. Career and employment, job opportunities. You want to create job opportunities for devotees, we can work with each other. We have more than 300 devotees working in Bhaktivedanta Hospital. So it has created a lot of job opportunity also for the devotees. So one project when we start, devotees also get job opportunities. Prabhu, where did he suddenly Antardhan? Okay, what's the name? Prabhu's name? Martin Prabhu, okay, Hare Krishna. Suddenly you give a nice point and then disappeared from the vision. Looks like immediately found some job. Okay, thank you Martin Prabhu. Yes, some more areas. The devotees, Mother Krishna Charana Devi.
Healthcare.
For the devotees. So yes, and just for your information, like we have many healthcare packages for the devotees, especially in Bhaktivedanta Hospital. And so therefore devotees from all over the world, they come to be treated in devotional environment where they can get good packages, good amount of discount, and good care and so on and so forth. Mother Jahanava? Okay, good. She said, good sadhana, encourage devotees to have good sadhana, and that comes under the category of spiritual care. The first and the foremost, spiritual care. We want the devotees to be spiritually happy, and also, and how will they be spiritually happy? If they are having good sadhana. Not just sadhana, there are other aspects also to spiritual life, but fine. Overall, spiritual care is very important for the devotees. Yes, Mother Gaurangi Devi.
So we have to assist the leaders, the managers, because the tendency to think they have to do everything, be responsible for everything. And
okay, yes, good. So we discussed leadership means responsibility, but it's our responsibility to assist the leaders. Mother Gaurani said. We just can't say everything leader responsibility. Prabhupada said Tamil president means anything goes wrong, leader is responsible. No, but we are also responsible to assist them. Very good point. Thank you so much. Yes, Prabhu. Okay, we have two hands. Mother Sita Priya Devi and then Prabhu. Yes, Mother Sita Priya Devi. Speak loudly.
When we speak about areas, you speak about numbers also.
You speak about?
Numbers of persons.
Numbers of persons.
For example, in Bhaktivedanta Hospital, you have 300 members.
I spoke so many areas employment.
Yeah.
So many devotees got employment in one project.
Yeah.
Yes.
What to do when you have one small temple as us? You don't have not too much devotees. You cannot have too much areas. You just run after one thing another and.
Yes, logistical. Now here each devotee community have their unique challenge. One of the challenges here is not many devotees, to stay and serve here. So therefore, I'm going to discuss with Luchan and Prabhu how to make sure that many devotees can come and stay here. What kind of environment we can create, what kind of opportunities we can create, which can attract devotees to come here and stay. So that is a separate discussion outside of the scope. Thank you. The point is very nice, very relevant. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. Which area?
Dans votre séminaire, comment bien comprendre Sambandha, Abhidaya et Pradhyana?
Sambandha, Abhidaya and Prayojana. This area, that's a part of spiritual care. But fine. So part of spiritual care is to help devotee understand their relationship, how to practice bhakti, and how to achieve the goal of life, Prayojana. Fine, thank you. Something more? Yes.
The temple.
Mother Krishna Kirtana. Yes.
The temple needs also financial support.
Financial support, financial care. The temple also, individually devotees also. Financial care is an important aspect of care. Quick, something else? Any other area? Yes, Mother Aswila Devi.
Maybe care for senior devotees.
Care, that is the recipient. Okay, but good. Senior devotees. What kind of care they will need?
Loneliness.
Okay, loneliness. So that we spend some time with them. Mainly emotional care, not physical care. For the physical care. Okay, good. So thank you. So, the GBC identified 12 broad areas that every community should provide support. Let's see those 12 broad areas which the GBC has identified. Please have a look. I hope you all can see it. We have covered, let's see how many we have covered. We covered spiritual life. But within spiritual life, just see there are subcategories. Someone may lose faith. Someone may have very weak sadhana. Someone may be away from association. Under each category, broad category, there are subcategories. And these are, the subcategories will expand. These are some only. This is not all in all. All those are 12 into, if each have 5 subcategories, and this is 2, already 70 areas are listed over here approximately, and that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. Just see over here. Healthcare we covered, marriage we covered, child rearing, child care, education, career employment, financial, housing. At times, some places the housing is very difficult. So in Melbourne we were there, and there are many youngsters. So one rich, wealthy devotee he purchased a whole building, and then he charged very nominal rent from the singles devotees who stay, and they get to stay near the temple, serve in the temple, and spiritually thrive. So he has invested this in a building, and there could be 30 to 40 youngsters who would stay, and many of them became such nice devotees because there was nice housing nearby, which was a downtown temple, very costly. So there's housing. There's examples. Similarly, travel and immigration. Travel and immigration. Devotees need advice in travel and immigration. Like it was very difficult for us to get a visa for Europe. One kind-hearted devotee, he guided us very carefully and we could get Europe visa. Otherwise, it was so difficult for us. So, travel and immigration, legal advice at times, legal complications. At one point of time, ISKCON had 35 court cases going on. Can you imagine? 35 court cases. And there were 2 or 3 devotee lawyers dealing with it. So legal mediation, when there is some conflict, to resolve the conflict, because the conflict, causes so much of turmoil, so much of, I would say that the whole disturbance in the community, even especially the conflict between leaders. When there is a fight among leaders, senior devotees, all the junior devotees, they are affected. So it is important to have mediation. Like there was a conflict between Prithu Maharaj and Indra. Who came to mediate? No. Who came to mediate? Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu himself. Lord Vishnu and Brahma immediately came to mediate because they are like 2 leaders. And there was a fight between them. They mediated and resolved it. Very important mediation. These are 12 broad areas in which the community of devotees need to provide, support each other, caring services. Now, most important thing, out of 12, 1 is spiritual, all other are material, but they are not material. Because they are supporting the spiritual. They are assisting the spiritual life, so therefore they are also not material. But have observation, to support spiritual life, we need so many areas to assist devotees to practice spiritual life with enthusiasm and everything. We need to provide support in so many areas. To support one area, we need to provide caring services in 11 areas. To support one. So this is the essence. Spiritual life is essence. But these 11 other areas are also essential. If these essential services are not provided, we will not be able to achieve the essence, which is the spiritual life. Any thoughts, any reflections, any questions? Yes, Hare Krishna. Tell me your name.
Harini.
Okay, Harini Devi, yes.
Thank you, sir. I was just thinking if our spiritual life is...
Okay, we would like to give
I can speak louder.
Okay, fine. Please speak a little louder.
We want to have the mind. We organize
Pass it on.
things to have a traveling.
If our spiritual life is strong, we have strong sadhana and strong reading, is it not that our material life then it would be fine? Like even if there's challenges, then...
Okay. Hare Krishna. We discussed that yesterday. If our spiritual life is strong, now this is where the devotees make mistake. Sometimes, suppose if you become sick, you get a viral, and the viral spread. Just imagine, not you. I don't want you to become sick. If someone becomes sick, then will you say, looks like your chanting is weak. You have gone viral. How could this virus affect you? Your chanting is weak. No, this is not, we don't have to correlate the two. Similarly, sometimes a devotee may undergo depression. And Prabhupada, there is a pastime. Prabhupada said, well, just like the body can become sick, the mind can become sick, treat it. Doesn't mean your bhakti is less. If you are driving on a highway, the tire is punctured. You say, I didn't chant my rounds properly, the tire got punctured. There is no direct correlation as such. So we need to separate the two also. But yes, the material disturbances will not affect you so much if your spiritual life is strong. It may be there, I may become sick. So it's not that my sadhana is weak, but in the sickness also, I will be able to go through it smoothly if my spiritual life is strong. That will aid. But just because that I become sick doesn't mean my spiritual life is weak. So we should not, or now the car has broken down, I will chant extra rounds now to fix it. That will be the next conclusion then. So we have to fix it. We have to find the mechanic. The car is broken down. So this is the mistake that many devotees and leaders do. They relate the two. There is some correlation, but not direct correlation. Like, fine. So, and yesterday we discussed when Haridas Thakur became old. One classical solution we give to everything is depend on Krishna and chant extra rounds. When Haridas Thakur was sick, Lord Chaitanya said, you can reduce the chanting. We discussed yesterday. Fine. So it's a good question. You raised a very valid point. And spiritual life, strong spiritual life will help us go through the difficulties. But the devotees need to support each other during that time. Or you have to seek some kind of caring service. Okay, so just like there are 12 broad areas, there are broad recipients of care. Just like Madhan Rasvilasani pointed out, we need to care for senior devotees. That's not area, they're the recipients. Just within a community, there are 12 broad recipients for the subcategories. Have a look. There are 12 broad area recipients of devotee care. Women, cows, brahmanas, children, elderly, brahmacharis, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasis. Then other temple residents, senior devotees and leaders. There are subcategories. And the memory aid, Prabhupada says, civilized society means to protect the five. If you read in Bhagavatam, a civilized society will protect the five. Who are those? The brahmanas, the cows, the children, the elderly and women. First five. Every civilized society will protect these first five. And then 4 varnas. 4 ashramas are mentioned over here. Grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi, brahmacharis. So 4 and 5 are 9. And then there are other temple residents and leaders and senior devotees. So these are the 12 broad recipients of devotee care. Okay, so therefore now this 12 broad areas and 12 broad recipients should expand our understanding of devotee care. Why? Because as we discussed yesterday, when we go to some place and say, okay, are you doing some devotee care? Yes, we have Ganga Jal ready. When anyone is going to leave the body, we will reach there with Ganga Jal and Mahagarland. We have very nice devotee care department. They don't miss out on a single soul. We will not allow anyone to leave from this world without Ganga Jal and Tulsi and Mahagarland. Right? While leaving, what about while living? Devotees need so much support while living. We have put up the system of care while they leave, but we need a lot of caring services while the devotees are living here. Right? So therefore, that should expand our understanding of how broad and deep is this devotee care. Now, to care for the devotees effectively, we need some skill sets. We need certain skill sets. Otherwise, like one devotee was suffering from indigestion, some disorder of the stomach. Another devotee said, here is cow urine. One solution for all. And all the diseases will go away by the mercy of Mother Cow. Start this cow urine. Daily morning. And the health worsened. Because we don't know what's the cause of that and how the cow urine is going to act. So sometimes we may not have the required skill. We need to diagnose the root cause before prescribing any solution. We can't just care without having required skills. So there are certain important skills now we are going to discuss. I will invite Madhan Sundar Prabhu now at this point of time to discuss some important skills which are needed to care for the devotees effectively. We will have a 5 minutes kirtan break at this point of time, so that you can just assimilate what we just discussed. And who would like to lead the kirtan? Need some volunteer? Mother Lalita, she has a sweet voice. But you need a break. Or Kirtidam? Yes, good.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Simon, Prabhu,
yes.
Do you have another mic or just one wireless?
The trusty headset would be there. If you want, you can have that and then keep that one around.
Okay, so because there's a request,
we don't have two wireless microphones.
Interaction, they're not able to hear if you don't have the mic. So we have to consider that. Fine. That's a valid request from Madhan. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashanakaya Chakshuram Vritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Simon, do you have bass and treble here?
Sorry?
For the sound, bass and treble?
Yeah.
Reduce the bass.
Yes.
Increase the treble for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too heavy. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. So we are on the third and the final slot of our seminar on the topic of care, or devotee care. A lot of things have been discussed and established. Just now in the first half, the discussion was who should we really care? Who must be the recipient of the care? Yesterday we spoke about the diversity that ISKCON has that brings a challenge. So it requires certain universal principles. After describing principles, still a question remains, who should we really be caring for? And what are the areas of care? So that was established. Now we're going to come to the next part, how to care. Of course, we will not be able to touch upon all the recipients or all the areas, but at least one thing that we talk over here is in terms of how to counsel and how to mentor. This is a recurring challenge, just to begin with. There was this family from Pune who moved to another part of the country in India, and the wife was counseling a girl. This girl gets married, but to a non-devotee boy. However, the marriage was not a happy marriage. The girl struggled in the marriage. Oftentimes she spoke to her mentor, what should I do? It's just not working out. And this Mataji kept on saying, no, in Vedic tradition, woman always needs protection, which is correct, but you have to see time, place, circumstance. And she kept on pushing him, no, just keep tolerating, just keep tolerating. So much so, the parents of the girl were also in favor of they getting separated. But here the mentor kept on insisting Vedic values, Vedic virtues and whatnot. One fine day, they were living in Hyderabad. One fine day, the door was knocked. They opened the door, the police was on the door. And the couple was arrested, our devotee couple. And they were just curious, what happened? Why are we arrested? Their mentee attempted suicide. And she was in Middle East. And the parents pinned all the blame on this devotee couple. Why were you advising like this? So they said this is one example of it, because this is something, a service where we all get involved into it, particularly those who are preaching, taking care. So therefore there has to be certain clarity, certain boundaries, a code of conduct. What we do, what we don't do, and what we do, how we do. So to begin with this discussion, of course I have to be careful with interaction. I have to make sure I pass on the mic. That's a request. So I'll just have a brief interaction, considering we don't have another mic. What would be the essential skills our caregivers should have while offering care towards others? Is that okay? Yes, Madhan.
Listen attentively.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll repeat what others say so that we get to know. So Mother says, listen attentively. Fantastic. Thank you, Mother. Yes, Madam?
Empathy.
Empathy. So these are going into values. We're talking more of skills. So, but that's a value. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? What skills the caregivers should have while taking care of others?
Being neutral?
Dealing?
No, being neutral.
Being neutral.
Neutral.
Okay? being neutral. Was a young man, a boy, he got connected, he's been around for 6 months. He was trying his best to practice spiritual life. And he told his mentor, I'm having challenges with maintaining sexual purity. Mentor said, you're fallen. I can't associate with you, otherwise I'll become contaminated. Imagine Nityanand Prabhu telling this to Jagai Madhan. Haridas would have been happy. Thank God, will not be beaten by these two drunken men. I'm just joking. So, let me give you another case, so that you pick out something, what we are touching on. These are all real life cases, and there are hundreds and hundreds of it. A devotee told, Guhyamakyati Prachiti, we were discussing the first day. So here the devotee shared about his challenges. Okay, let me tell you this thing. So Bhagavatam class is going on. A congregation, a couple, had shared their challenge with a devotee. 2 days before. 2 days later on, this devotee had a morning Bhagavatam class. He's giving Bhagavatam class. And during the course of giving the class, he shared their case study. But mind you, he didn't took any names. But he shared the challenge. And the couple was sitting in the audience. How do you think what would have happened? How do you think this is not good? See, names have not even been taken. That would have been too much. And if you share the names, and the things in the past have happened like that, names have not been taken. The couple got so hurt. The moment class ended, and the temple hall got empty. They were waiting. They came straight to the speaker. Prabhu, you betrayed our trust. And the devotee said, but Prabhu, I never took your name. He said, what do you mean you never took our name? What do you think people will not understand who you were talking about? We are sitting in the audience and we just shared our challenge. How would we come back to this community? How would we face the devotees here? And this devotee is asking, but Mother, but Prabhu, I never revealed your name. How would others know? But that doesn't matter. So there are certain skills therefore mentioned, that therefore there needs to be taken into consideration. So the first skill is zip it up. You got it. Maintaining confidentiality. Don't share, don't reveal. According to professional code, let's say when you have counselors, professional counselors, you need to take a permission of your client before discussing the case of a client with another professional counselor. So yesterday when we were talking about principles and values, I was making a point under expertise that we also need to undergo some professional development and skill development, because we have huge diversity. People come from all background. We need to have some skill set with which we can cater to the needs of all. So when it comes to maintaining confidentiality, unless we have a permission from the devotee, we cannot share his case with somebody else. First thing, that's part of ethics. Even if there are going to be situations when somebody shares something with you and you're not able to help, then there is another situation we've got to do with it. We'll come to that. However, the question here is it like we've got to maintain confidentiality in all situations? Imagine a student calls you up, Prabhu, I have had enough. I have lived my life in this world. I want nothing, only Krishna prem. But only thing is, I don't have patience to live my life. Thus, I conclude, I have decided to end my life. I commit suicide. Of course, this I made it a positive connotation. Imagine frustrated from material life, and you get so many cases. Particularly the audience type that I deal with it is too often. They all are IT professionals, frustrated, they have money, wealth, whatnot, but no sense of peace. Somebody calls you up like this. What should you do? Maintain confidentiality. Alright, Prabhu, I'll I'll pray to Vishnu Dutas. They come to you, not the Yam Dutas, while you are moving on to the next destination. Or I'll chant one Hare Krishna for you. What should we do? So there are certain situations where by the law we're not supposed to maintain confidentiality. We need to take action immediately.
Emergency.
Emergency like what kind? Where somebody is causing harm to oneself. And what else? Causing harm to others. There are certain situations where we should immediately take help and inform the right authorities. So what are the exceptions? Hurting oneself or trying to hurt others and breaking the law. Somebody decides to break the law, and then if he tells you that we need to take a right course of action. Otherwise, we will also be party of the crime and will be held responsible for it. So the first core skill is maintaining confidentiality, but there are 3 exceptions to it. First, somebody wants to hurt oneself, second, others, or third, break the law. That time we should not maintain, otherwise we should. And in case if we want to discuss students' problem because we're not able to handle it, we should have due permission. That I'm going to discuss your case with my senior. So that way the confidentiality is maintained because now he knows who else is going to know about my story. Is that okay? So we all acknowledge this is important. That's the first one, core skill. Going back to the case of this couple who got arrested, they had to spend 5 days in the jail by the time they could get a bail. Now imagine your student or one of the community member is having certain challenges, but you're not the right person to handle it. What should we do? Should we keep telling him or keep telling ourselves, I am the savior, I am the next Messiah, I am going to save and deliver you back home, back to Godhead, nobody else. So no need to go to anyone else. I am there for you, regardless of what advice I give or not. Let me give you a case study. You tell me what should be done. This is a real life incident that happened. One individual had got cancer. And he wanted to take advice. The doctors advised him to go for allopathy treatment, chemotherapy, etc. The mentor, the temple leader, was saying, no, chemotherapy is bad. Of course, whatever it is. You should try alternative medicine. Allopathy doctor promised, if you do so, you'll live at least for 5 to 6 years. Mentor said, no, everything will be spoiled, nothing doing. Alternative medicine, search for it, find out, you'll find something, there's so many things. And the person died in 3 months. What should have been done in this case? What would be your suggestion? What should be done? Question here is, was that temple leader or mentor was really qualified to give an advice in an area where he or she is not trained up? If I am not trained up in the field of medicine, what authority do I have to speak on the subject matter where I know nothing about it? Therefore, here comes the second most important skill. Those who are caregivers, they should have. And they should not be insecure about it. Oh, if I take the student and advise him to meet somebody else, then maybe he will not come back to me. Well, we are here to help him go back home, assist him, not hold on to him. And the second important core skill for caregivers is referrals. Giving a referral. So if you don't have a skill set, you tell him, Prabhu, I know so and so, I'll connect you with that person so you get the right guidance. So I often say the role of a mentor is often elder brother and elder sister, not necessarily Shiksha Guru. There is a difference in that. Ideally, this whole idea of mentorship is designed with that so that you have somebody who emotionally takes care of you, and when you need help with decisions, helps you with decision, not that he or she makes all the decision for you. If they have the knowledge, they share, but yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. Not that you do what I say. This is what I think, or let me connect you to another person who would help you with that. So that's about making referrals that can save us from a lot of challenges and others also. So, important thing here, these are a few just points about on this topic of making referrals. I'll just pass on the mic if somebody can read out. Anyone here?
To making referrals, a caregiver must recognize his or her limitations and situations that call for knowledge and skills outside his or her own specific area of expertise. Especially, a caregiver should avoid denying the scope of their expertise and their own limitations, being possessive over clients, being swayed by sectarian concerns, e.g. guru cliques, anything that...
This is my God, brother. I'm going to hold on to it.
Anything that compromises the well-being of clients. It is often dangerous and even illegal to practice without adequate qualification, for example in applying alternative or complementary health remedies.
So, I'll share this PPT for you to read it at leisure and think more on it. So there are many important points which you can look into it. Just to lighten the moment, some nice cartoon to see how it happens. Here's our mentor, Mr. or Miss Mentor. Psychiatric help, 5 cents, the doctor is in, and the patient walks in. And to the patient, hopeless, completely hopeless. Nothing can be done for him. Alright. Opinions, 5 cents, thought for the day, 10 cents, sound advice, 25 cents. I'm available, whatever you need. And this is the best. George, this is not psychotherapist, this is psychotherapist. It's a one word. Get the right context. Don't break the word. So here, this is what it means precisely. That would be the 4th point, considering ethics. Every caregiver needs to know about their own capacity, what they can do or not do. They should not over-assume their ability to help. That's the point here. Alright. Oh, this is a nice one. Do any of your relatives suffer from mental illness? The doctor asked. No, they all seem to enjoy it. I come from a crazy family. Alright, so that was the second. What was the first one? Core skill? What is the first skill required for a caregiver? Maintaining confidentiality. And 3 things for which we break the confidentiality. What is the second core skill needed for caregiver? Making referrals. And now we come to the third and a very, very important. That is building rapport. Any thoughts about how do you build rapport with your students? Tests. We scare them. We're talking about building rapport. Thank you for that. Okay. How do you build rapport with your students?
Regularly checking in.
Okay, regularly following up with them. Okay, nice. What else? Yes, Prabhu.
Developing relationships, you know them.
Developing relationship, spending one-on-one time. Okay. Anything else? How do we develop rapport with the students? Because that's very important. Yes, please.
Being personal.
Being personal, spending one-on-one time, being personal. Anything else?
Asking questions.
Asking questions. So to know them better. Thank you, Madhan. What about instructing them? Alright, you have come to the temple now. So tomorrow you're going to chant 8 rounds of Mahamantra. And a week later, 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And 2 weeks later, I recommend your name for initiation. Are you ready? So I'm going to introduce a quick model here. Okay, before I get into the model, let me ask this question to you. You want to inspire or you want to help somebody take to spiritual practice. what would be the best way? Generally, how do you, encourage somebody to take to Krishna consciousness? Maybe give a lecture, give philosophy, they hear a lecture, or, how would you encourage somebody to take to Krishna conscious practice? Any thoughts? Yes, Prabhu?
For example.
Fantastic. By setting an example, very nice.
And enjoying it. Enjoying doing it.
And enjoying, be happy yourself, what you're asking him to do. Chant and be happy. Then be happy when you're chanting. Okay, okay, well tried, Mother. Yes, Mother.
Be friend with them.
Okay, being friendly, having a relationship with them, very nice. What else? Yes, Prabhu?
Give them a lot of prashadam.
Give them a lot of prashadam, being your friends, that comes into that. Thank you so much. I can see that you're sitting next to Damodar Prabhu. You're getting influenced. Prabhu loves giving prasadam. When I was in Chopati, I said I'm joining ashram. Why? Damodar Prabhu feeds me gulab jamun every day. Okay, thank you for that. What else? You're encouraging the student to wake up in the morning. Just by telling him to wake up in the morning, would it be possible? What else would we need to do that? You have done the modeling, as Mother said, setting an example. Mother said mentoring. We have built relationship. Prabhu said feeding prasadam as part of mentoring. What else would we need to do? I want you tomorrow morning onwards to wake up at 4:30 and come for morning program. What would be needed for him?
Convincing that
To go early to bed. So you're going to advise him to go early to bed? So you're saying, don't advise, don't they all listen to you, okay? What else? Yes, Prabhu.
telling the benefit.
Telling the benefits, Brahma Mrutatal. Okay, telling the benefits, health benefits, whatnot. Very nice. What else? Yes, Mother.
Proposing him an experience and see how he feels.
Thank you for that. I'm reminded of one thing. My roommate back in America, he was a South Indian. He would just not get for morning program. He would just not get up for morning program. So we decided we should create an experience for him so that he gets up for morning program. So I went and woke him up at 4 o'clock. I said, Sundar, get up. He said, where am I? Who am I? He was so much in deep sleep, he was totally lost. I said, Sundar, Sundaresh Prabhu, I got gulab jamun for you. I kept a gulab jamun in front of his mouth. He said, he looked strange. He said, gulab jamun? I said, yes, you want gulab jamun? He said, yes. And I kept pulling the gulab jamun behind until he was on his feet. But yeah, he ate and he slept off. It didn't work out as planned. Okay, thank you for that, Mother. Anything else? We're getting close to it. What would we need? We want him to come for morning program tomorrow, maybe a week later. You've done modeling, setting example, you've done mentoring, building relationship. What would be the next step?
He gives a higher taste.
I gave higher taste of gulab jamun. He ate and slept off. But okay, thank you for that higher taste. Yes, please.
You need to go with him, like stay with him. I don't know how, like sleeping.
Yeah, you're getting closer to it. You're getting closer. Nice. Okay. So the third is organization. Okay, let me still wait on revealing the model. Organization means you want him to wake up in the morning. So prior to that, we need to sit down with him and understand his lifestyle. And understand his challenges in sleeping early. For example, he says, well, what to do? I live with people who don't sleep before 12 o'clock. Now, if his room partner doesn't sleep before 12 o'clock, it won't be possible for him to sleep. And I want him to wake up in the morning, then I need to create a facility or alternative so that he can go to bed early. So I can say, why don't you do one thing? Over the weekend, come to my place. And I'll prepare dinner for you and I'll ensure by 9 o'clock, after that there's no noise, you can sleep. Now if he's able to sleep by 9, maybe he may not fall asleep by 9, maybe by 10 o'clock if he goes onto the bed. At least he's sleeping 2 hours before. So if he was waking earlier at 7 o'clock, now at least he can wake up by 5, if not 5, 6 o'clock. So it's a very important thing for us to create facility what we want them to practice. Because then it becomes easy for them to follow it. Otherwise the question would be, Prabhu, you are telling me lofty things, but I can't do it. You're telling me to eat prasadam. How do I do? My friends cook something else. Oh yeah? Okay, then we have to create a facility. Therefore Prabhupada, many times he mentions why he created ISKCON. He said, I have created ISKCON for the purpose. In 14th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Modes of Material Nature, he said, I have created ISKCON so that people can come and get association of sadhus. Because only by the association of sadhus, when they will hear Krishna Katha, Kirtan and eat prasadam, then they will move from lower modes to Sattva-guna. And as somewhere else in Bhagavatam, I have created ISKCON so that there is sadhu sangha. And they can find saintly people with whom they can develop loving relationship. And when there will be that loving relationship, people will be willing to listen and change their lifestyle. That's organization. So if organization is done, so the model actually is, I'm going to show that then. And I'll just put some disclaimer for it.
Picture is gone?
Yeah, it's coming. It's going to come. Yeah. We're just starting it. So the model, which this is called as MMOT. And the disclaimer what it is, it got to be followed in a sequence. You can't just do anything here and there. We got to set an example, as Mother Gurani said. Yadyat acharati shreshta tattad evatarajava. That's what Krishna told Arjuna. You got to fight because you have to set an example. That's what Srila Prabhupada told in Bombay when he was living there. I need to go along with their books, because by reading books they will not understand unless they see a person practicing the book. Setting an example is very important. For example, I remember one mother, right in the dining hall, in the prasadam hall, she shouted at herself, "Keep quiet! You speak so loudly!" And the son was confused. And he said, "Mother, why are you speaking so loudly?" Mother shouted at the child, and the child obviously next thing asked, "Why are you speaking loudly and you asking me to speak softly?" And mother was kind of embarrassed. What do I say? So what we asked them, we got to follow. That's a model, very nicely pulled out here. And it got to be followed in a sequence. Second, I've already spoken, I'll move forward, is mentoring. This refers to, Mother was saying, personal relationship, one-to-one time, we spend time with them. But how do we do mentoring? Sorry, I'm not going to give too many models, but I'll just introduce briefly a second model. What exactly mentoring means? And the model for that I'm going to speak is called chaos. When you put in systems and structures, then practice becomes easy. Therefore, we're just introducing that. So the mentoring model is CARES. What is this? Let's take a look at. So what a mentor? Because it's very important for a mentor to understand his code of conduct and the boundaries. What I'm supposed to do and not. So first is care. They should genuinely feel about the well-being of the student. Yesterday, Damodar Prabhu was quoting Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he was giving a beautiful analysis that when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, the devotees of this movement should be willing to spend 200 gallons of blood. And he gave a very beautiful analysis. If you, donate, how much? Per week?
Yeah, per week.
How much was it?
The maximum you can.
Okay, per week for 100 years, if you contribute, by the end of 100 years, you would have contributed 200 gallons. The maximum you can contribute per week, if you donate blood per week, maximum, by the end of 100 years, it will sum up to 200 gallons. That's what Damodar was saying. So anyways, the point here is care. We should have that genuine feeling. One devotee, he's a very wonderful intellectual individual, but he often gets a complaint from his audience, you're too intellectual that we don't understand anything. your class goes over the head. So he was speaking to his spiritual master. He said, Maharaj, people say I give a beautiful class, but the problem is nobody understands what I say. Because it's so technical. What do I do? So Maharaj said, well, I'm a simple man, but I know one thing that really impacts the other's heart. So he was with all his ears listening to, what is that, Maharaj, what is that? Maharaj said, Krishna has gifted me with one wonderful quality. I'm speaking about my Guru Maharaj. He said, Krishna has gifted me with wonderful quality. I genuinely care for others. And for that platform when I speak, it touches the heart. So in other words, indirectly Maharaj was indicating to this devotee, you're focusing a lot on intellectual presentation. But you have to care for your audience. A genuine care. So that's about manifesting a care. And this is what I was speaking to Nitai Prabhu yesterday. How it functions. Best it functions if you are cultivating a student. Because there that relationship happens genuinely. Unlike you're announcing to a community, we are starting a mentorship program, you want everyone to accept mentor. It takes a while for that. Second is appreciation. I believe Damodar who made this point in the very first session. Who is that? Prabhupada discussed Peter Burwash. He was quoting the example of Peter Burwash. How a nurse came, a lady came, and she cleaned the room. And Peter Burwash Prabhu so genuinely appreciated her. And she began to cry. And she said, oh, nobody has really appreciated me in the last 20 years. I remember there was a student within a week time, he began to chant 4 rounds. And I took him, this is many years ago, I took him to my senior. Just prior to me introducing this devotee to my senior, we had a ceremony where we appreciated all those devotees who have taken a commitment to chant 16 rounds. And there was an appreciation ceremony for them. This boy had just agreed to chant 4 rounds. I brought him to him. And he so nicely appreciated him. Oh, within a week time, from 2 rounds to 4 rounds, this boy was so nervous. He thought, Prabhu, what will I do going there? Prabhu was appreciating those chanting 16 rounds. I'm just chanting 4 rounds. But when he appreciated him, within the next week, he came to 16 rounds. Appreciation. This little dosage of appreciation makes a tremendous difference. So this is, let me put it, this is a job profile, whoever is mentor. This formula should be memorized. You have that nature of appreciating or not, but you got to do it for the people who you're taking care of. Because that gives them emotional satisfaction. Makes a huge difference. That's about appreciation. A. Let's go to the R. R refers to respect. Like I was giving an example of this boy practicing for 6 months. He had a challenge with practicing sexual purity. And suddenly his mentor said, oh, you're so fallen. If I associate with you, what will happen to me? No, that's not the attitude. So any relationship can grow if there is a respect. And everyone can understand with the conduct or behavior of other person if they have respect for me or not. And particularly for the beginners, they don't understand how our culture is still, how to give respect to senior, equals and juniors. So they generally come on the level of peer. They begin from there. So it's very important. And in fact, we can only generally care for them when we respect them as an individual, as a Mamayavamsa, Jiva Loka, Jiva Bhuta, Sanatana. He is also a part and parcel of the Lord, just like me. He has forgotten, I have been reminded. And it's my service to help him remind. But nonetheless, I should respect that individual and not be judgmental of what he is. It will take time for him to improve, no problem. Fourth, encouragement. We all do mistakes. A mistake is not the end. Mistake is an opportunity to grow. So we need to be encouraging. I have experienced this a lot, and I'm pretty sure anyone who's in the leadership role would have the same experience. A good leader means you have to have a high tolerance. You cannot just break out. A mentor. How many of you have cooking experience here? I want to just give you some cooking example here. Damodar can correct me if that's the right example, but because I was doing it. Chicago temple, in the morning, I was preparing this, barfi for the Lordship. So for that, barfi, what's the other word? Yeah, barfi maybe. So you have to boil the milk slowly for a long hours. So I was doing that, 2 hours have already gone by. And I'm just slowly churning the milk. After 2 hours, something very interesting happened that didn't happen until the 2 hours. Now suddenly, the milk became too spread. That bubbles, they begin to burst. And when bubbles begin to burst, a hot milk would fall over my body. It will sometimes fall here, sometimes fall there. And I was like, oh, it's burning my body. And then a leader came, for those days, Temple President of Chicago. He said something very profound. He said, this is the life of a leader or a mentor. When you're training somebody, eventually their faults will spill over you. They'll do mistakes. And because of mistakes, you might feel a little burnt at times. You may feel angry at times. But you've got to have patience. You've got to keep churning. Keep moving. Don't stop. Because if you stop, the whole milk will be burnt. You can't stop it. You just keep going on, keep moving. Gradually, that milk will turn into what you can make barfi with. And everyone goes through this life. We don't need to give it up. We just have to hang on. Ussahanisha dhairyat. That's about encouragement. And the last, but not the least of the mentoring skill set or requirement is sacrifice. Without sacrifice, it's just not possible. Prabhupada, we have Prabhupada is the best example, and I'm pretty sure, of course, the devotee community here is a wonderful example. Without sacrifice, love has no meaning if there is no sacrifice. Love means sacrifice. And we got to, what is sacrifice? Prabhupada defines sacrifice in Bhagavad Gita. One of the purpose, it is in the 16th chapter, Prabhupada says sacrifice means willing to accept inconveniences voluntarily for the benefit of others. Willingness to accept inconveniences voluntarily for the benefit of others is one of the definitions Prabhupada gives for sacrifice. So this is the KS model. What does C stands for? No. That's for loving relationship. Care. What does A stands for? Appreciation. Thank you. What does R stands for? Respect. What does E stands for? Encouragement. S is written on the board, so that's okay. S stands for sacrifice. So, yeah. Moving forward to the third aspect of this model is organization. So, did you notice here, so far we have not started teaching. Teaching has not come only so far. Modeling, setting an example, mentoring, personal relationship, and the chaos model for it. Organization, creating a facility for them to practice. Once all that is done, then we say what to do, what not to do. Remember that first initiation of ISKCON that Prabhupada gave? Yes. And after that initiation, next morning, every devotee saw or noticed letter by Srila Prabhupada. So, all the new initiated devotees, now they have to follow 4 regulative principles. And that's the time Prabhupada introduced no eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit relationships like that. So in organization, there are 2 parts. One is organizing the life of others. You can only do justice to it when you're good in organizing your life. Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasa karmashu, yukta sapnova bodhasya, yogo bhavati savaka. 6th chapter verse 17. So, a leader, a mentor, a caregiver need to have proper sadhana, strong sadhana. Need to take care of his own physical well-being. If not, then how would you care for others? Unless we are getting nourishment, for how long can we keep giving nourishment to others? So organization in 2 parts, self-organization and then organizing facility for others to practice. And that is called as cultural engineering. Prabhupada often uses this word in his writings. Cultural engineering. I thought electrical engineering, computer engineering, but I never came across cultural engineering except for Prabhupada books. It took me a while to understand what this cultural engineering is. And this is this. Creating a facility, a setup. So they are ready to practice what we are about to teach them. And now we teach what to do, what not to do. And now at this point in time, it becomes digestible and possible to follow because there is that right environment. They have a trusting relationship from the speaker who is speaking, and now they can execute. The same thing, Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna heard Arjuna. That's about mentoring. He heard Arjuna, and when Arjuna said, okay Lord, now you speak, then Krishna spoke. Like Mother said, attentive listening. That's part of mentoring like that. So this is what about teaching. So this is the MMOT model. Okay, I'll not go to this like this. I'll provide the PPT, you can go ahead with it later on. They're about Shiksha model, what to teach also. So coming back, so we're talking about 4 core skills for a caregiver, leader and mentor. What is the first skill? Zip it up. Maintaining confidentiality. What is the second skill? Core skill for a caregiver, leader. Referrals, making referrals. Third, building rapport. So I just spoke about how to build rapport with the MMOT model and the CARES model. Alright. So this is about building rapport over here. Yeah, that's it. I've already explained that. Any questions so far before I come to the last point? Is it making sense a little bit? Are you able to relate to it? Yes, Nitai.
About
I will repeat Nitai's close question. He said that.
About mentoring, you say you need to care, to have genuine feelings. But it goes with the relationship. It grows with the relationship also.
Okay, Nitai was saying you said care. But that grows with the relationship. One aspect of care is, I'm so grateful for what I have received. I need to share. And whoever is willing to receive, I'm going to share with him. So that, at least that much. And I'm willing and understanding that how I created testing times for my seniors when they were training me, how my seniors were patient with me, I gotta be patient with him or her also. That much care is good enough to begin with. We're not saying about falling in love kind of a thing, but that's because there has to be boundary. And of course, we have to have gender-wise distinction also, because that's important to maintain integrity, personal integrity, particularly if you're a single man and a single woman taking care. That's important. Otherwise, on a physical plane, it's very easy to get emotionally attached. So that kind of integrity and ethics have to be maintained also. Best, man take care of man, whom provide the care. Education, anyone can provide. But the care is best if it is gender specific. Because they naturally connect to each other. And there's no chances of any cross connection that way. Otherwise, unnecessarily many troubles happen. Fine, anything else on this subject matter of skills? the last skill of, if not everything, but last but not least, is ethics. Now this is a little different than the first three skills we spoke about, and ethics refers to your personal integrity. Understanding your limits, your code of conduct. And fourth, taking initiative for skill development. I also need training if I need to keep training others. So it's not that the education I have concluded for me, because now I'm offering training, but I also need to accept training and I have to keep learning. And I believe most of you are setting up such a wonderful example. Many of you are way senior, but still sitting and listening. So that's the whole idea of ethics, integrity, knowing one's boundary, understanding one's job profile as a mentor, what I can do, what I cannot do. And the fourth is continuous skill development, or what we call as CPD, continuous professional development. Skills need to be acquired according to the services we render. Playing mridanga is a skill. Cooking is a skill. Singing is also a skill. So we practice it. So like that, we acquire that. So that's about ethics. Would anyone like to read out at this point? I'll pass on the mic, please. Any volunteer? Generally, that's not the case when you call for volunteers. Volunteers excited. All of you are too shy.
Considering ethics?
Yes.
This fourth topic is somewhat different from the previous three in that ethical concerns and related skills underpin all caring practices. It is especially important that devotee counselors demonstrate integrity, both professional and devotional. ISKCON caregivers, be careful not to sacrifice personal integrity in favor of misunderstood or misapplied religious belief, sentiment. They exercise a degree of self-determination as a local team or as a wider sangha. Caregivers define an agreed code of conduct or code of ethics to which they consider themselves accountable irrespective of stature or position. They regularly participate in CPD, continuous professional development.
Thank you. So with that, we kind of complete this topic of the 4 core skills. I'll pause here and take a moment to thank each and every one of you, because I'm just going to go back and pack my bag and get ready. Damodar will come and conclude. So sincere gratitude to each and every one of you. Also to our leaders here, Prabhu and his good wife. And it has been a very inspiring stay. And I'm going to go back and share everything that I learned here, observing how all of you are trying to serve the deities in such a big campus with all the things which are available or not there. It's not so, there are certain challenges in terms of manpower and whatnot. And having a farm community, maintaining a farm community is one of the most difficult things. Because devotees generally don't come so easily to the farm community to come and stay and serve. But somehow by Lord's grace and the way the leaders have been working and all of you, how you have been supporting each other, this is going on, is growing, recovering from whatever was the past was, and becoming an inspiration for many of us. I was thinking, I often take out my group for retreats and yatras. So when I was coming to Europe, my team told me, Prabhu, find out some place for a retreat. So I told them, New Mayapur is a good place. Let's come for a retreat next year here. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madhan Sundar Prabhu. I think you all need a break, devotee care break. Need to freshen up. So we can chant Gayatri, those who are second initiated, and others should chant the holy name. Holy name is complete in itself. So I request someone to please lead the kirtan. While those who need to go out for some time, go around, please feel free. We have a 7 minutes break and we will continue. 10 minutes? Okay, whatever Mother Gaurangi says. Mata ki ichha sahi samata. Lord Chaitanya said, whatever his mother desire, we all have to agree. Mother's desire has to be held on head. So we'll have a 10 minutes break and resume. But I need someone to lead the kirtan. Now the Govind Mother will be so happy to hear the kirtan during the break. Someone to volunteer, lead the kirtan. Here are some kirtan movements. Need someone to volunteer, lead the kirtan. No? Okay, yes. Someone can accompany with the kartal. They can put it, use this, then use this, and play kartal. Prabhu, you can come. You have to play kartal also. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dhananjay Prabhu? Not yet back. Hare Krishna. So, we are coming towards the conclusion of this course. I would just like to, in the next 5 minutes, touch upon one of the very important skill, which is not just a caring skill, it is a life skill. Before we go to that, I would like to ask you a question. What was the compliment received by Prabhupada from his spiritual master? Not the instruction, but the compliment. He complimented in front of him. In front of him. He complimented him on something. Remember, not the instruction, but the compliment. Yes, Devotee Prabhu?
Yeah. You like to hear. Papa
Yes.
likes to hear.
Good. Where did he say that?
Actually, it was in India when devotees prefer to go to Govardhan Parikrama and stay around Bhaktisiddhanta just to hear him more.
Okay, good. It is good point. Prabhupada just joined Srila, his spiritual master was taking devotees on parikrama, and Prabhupada just joined for a day. And it was announced that devotees can either go for the darshan, dham darshan, specifically Sheshashai Vishnu. Actually Sheshashai Krishna. Krishna performed the pastime of manifesting the mode of Vishnu, and the beautiful deity of Krishna lying as Sheshashai. Devotees would go to see the deity, or they could hear from Saraswati Thakur, parallel programs. Most devotees went for darshan, Prabhupada stayed back to hear. Even those who stayed back to hear, they had to excuse themselves to attend to some services. But Prabhupada stayed back till the end. And now this took place in spiritual master. Notice when after a year after this incident, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur came to the place Prayag, where Prabhupada was running his pharmacy. And the temple, and he was supposed to be initiated now. And the temple president is introducing the new initiates, saying, "Here is Abhay Babu." And his spiritual master stopped the temple president. The temple president is introducing the new initiates. So when he said, "Here is Abhay Babu," before he could say anything, his spiritual master stopped. He said, "I know him. He likes to hear." That's the only thing he knew about him. Just imagine. That's the only thing he knew about him, and that's the only thing that matters. When sometimes his disciples would ask him, "What can we do for you, Guru Maharaj?" Question like disciple would like to serve. "What can we do for you, Guru Maharaj?" He would say, "Give me your ears." Say, "Give me your ears." They're the best thing. What is the best reciprocation with spiritual master? To receive what the spiritual master has to give. He wanted to give them Krishna Katha. And therefore the best gift to him, the best service would be to receive. To receive. Therefore he said, "I know him. He likes to hear." Just imagine how much Prabhupada's heart was overflooded with joy to get that compliment from his spiritual master. Of all the 9 processes of bhakti, which is the first and the foremost? Which is the first and the foremost? Shravanam. Shravanam means hearing. Means hearing. Is the first and the foremost. Although we say that 99%, that is a famous saying in ISKCON, 99% of our spiritual progress depends on chanting. But chanting cannot be performed effectively without hearing. And even when we are chanting the holy name, what is the most important thing in chanting? Hearing. Therefore, hearing is the first and the foremost process in spiritual life. And also, it is the most important skill in caring for devotees. Hearing. Prabhupada says, because we gain the knowledge, all the knowledge that we gain is through hearing, therefore all the Vedic literature are called. What's the name of Vedic literature which is connected with hearing? Shruti. The meaning of Shruti means that which is to be heard. And the ears are also called Shruti because we have to hear through the ears. So therefore, Shruti, all the Vedic knowledge is to be heard. Now, we talk of one of the most important skill to care for the devotees is listening skills. We use this term listening. In the context of education, right, modern educational context, what's the difference between hearing and listening? Can someone just think about it and make a guess? What's the difference between hearing and listening in terms of the modern educational context? What's the difference between the two? Mother Gaurangi Devi?
Listening, you pay attention, That's it. You concentrate.
Okay, good. Good. Listening, you have to be more attentive. Listening means I am really trying to focus and make out something out of it. So basically, hearing would be sometimes passive. That person is hearing but not thinking about it much. Or sometimes in ISKCON there is a joke. You hear from ISKCON in India or in Hindi, ISKCON has another meaning. ISKCON. Ear is called Kan. So ISKCON means you hear from this ear and let it go out from this ear. Let it go from this ear. That's many people say, don't bother yourself too much. Just hear from this ear, let it go through out from another ear. ISKCON and ISKCON out. Don't bother. But no. While the hearing is simply through the ear, we may not process it. Listening is with the ears, with the eyes, with the head and with the heart. Remember, hearing is passive while listening is active. That's the main difference. Hearing is simply through ears, it's a passive, while listening is through the ears, through the eyes, and there's a cross. Remember, ear, eyes, head and the heart. It's a listening cross. We listen through these four. Listen through these four. So listening is active. Listening is active. There could be various types of listening at times. You want to speak to someone may just ignore you, may not want to listen. Others may pretend to listen. At times the parents are busy, the child wants to say something and the parents say, yes, okay, please. I'm listening, and the husband is busy, wife wants to speak, and say, I'm listening, but not listening. And we may pretend to listen, but actually not listen. So there are various levels of listening. And attentive listening means we reflect back. That is called attentive listening. Reflect back. That means what I am listening to you, I quickly summarize it. Let's imagine, like someone wants to speak to you. Whatever the person has spoken, can you grasp the essence and summarize it in just 2-3 lines? A person has spoken for 5 minutes. Can you just extract the essence and summarize it back in just 2 or 3 statements? How much attention you have to put? Just like you say, read a paragraph and give a title. You have to be give a title which summarizes what this paragraph talks of. You have to attentively read it. Find it out, what's the theme. Similarly, to be able to reflect back, one has to be very attentive. Was Parikshit hearing or listening? He was listening. How do we know? He asked questions, that is one thing. Good, he asked questions. What else? What else? Was Parikshit? Yes, Parikshit was listening. He was very attentive. He reflected back. several times, I heard this from you. In the beginning of 6th canto, in the beginning, he says, in 2nd canto you spoke this, in 3rd canto you spoke this, in 4th you spoke this, in 5th you spoke this. He reflects back what he heard in the 4 cantos, in the beginning of 6th canto. Reflected back, is there. And that enthused Sukadeva Goswami. Just imagine, someone speaks to you and you can reflect back and summarize. How encouraged a person will feel. Wow, this person has understood. This person has understood me. It's so encouraging. You know, the greatest pain is when a person is misunderstood. And the greatest comforting feeling is when someone really understands us. That's attentive listening. Attentive. It's very difficult to be listening attentively. It's not easy. And even higher than attentive listening is another kind of listening, which is empathic listening. You can close this door, temple hall door. Gently just see the door is closed. Yeah. So that we all can listen attentively. Avoid the background noise. So, attentive listening, higher than attentive listening is another form of listening. Yes?
Emotional.
Emotional, that means empathic listening. Empathic listening is even a higher form of listening. Empathic listening. What's the empathy? We discussed some time back. Empathy means feel the pain of others. Like we know the word sympathy. Sympathy means to say, to feel sorry for someone. Oh, I'm so sorry. Or to understand someone's pain. I understand your pain. That is sympathy. But what is empathy? I feel your pain. Empathy. And Vaishnavas sometimes feel the pain even more than what the person is feeling. Can you imagine? Vasudeva Thakur feels the pain of the living entities more than what they are feeling. Just like a mother's pain when the child is suffering, mother's pain could be greater than the child. Because there is love. And because mother has so much affection. So therefore the circle of affection of the great souls is not just limited to their own family. It's much broader. Much broader. They identify everyone as a part and parcel, as a child of Krishna. And the circle of their empathy is very wide. Very wide. So that is empathic listening. Empathic listening. Paradukha dukhi. Perfect. Jyoti Prabhu said. Empathy means paradukha dukhi, which is one of the pinnacle of the Vaishnava qualities. Compassion. A Vaishnava suffers to see others unhappy. Therefore, there is attentive listening and there is empathic listening. Attentive listening is we are trying to understand what the person is speaking and we reflect back the content. While empathic listening is we reflect back the emotions, we try to connect with the emotions of a person. When we can connect with someone's emotion, then that is such a comforting feeling, such a comforting relief. Could you prepare that?
Yes, ready.
Okay.
Whenever you say, I bring it.
Okay, so yes, come.
Now?
Yeah, we have a small role play of different levels of listening. Okay.
Sorry.
That's alright. That's alright. I'm sorry. I wanted to have a small role play, but anyway, we leave it for some other time. So that I wanted to demonstrate different levels of listening, but I have spoken about it. The attentive listening and there is a empathic listening. Now, in this world, it is said when a person is undergoing some emotional problem, emotional turmoil, emotional heartbreak, what is the remedy, what is the solution? A person just needs someone to hear, someone to listen and empathize. So experts says, if someone is undergoing some kind of emotional challenge and someone can just hear them out, you have absolutely no solution. You only hear them out and empathize. You say, oh, what is empathy? Just reflect, oh, I'm so sorry that you are undergoing all this. That's it. You have no solution. That itself is the solution. At least just by listening out someone, you will solve 50% of their problem. At least. If not 100%. Because when a person is relieved, person will be able to find the solution to one's own self. But that so much relief comes just by expressing oneself. There is so much need for people to express themselves. There is no one to listen out. And amongst devotees, for devotees, it is most difficult to listen, even compared to outsiders. For devotees, it's a big challenge to listen. What's the reason? Because we know the solution. We have read all the books, we know so much philosophy. As soon as a person expresses, we say, I know the solution. Here is the solution. We have no patience to listen out. We think, I already know. I have the solution ready here. We have the solution to all problems. Because we have so well read, so well heard. Therefore, it's very difficult for the devotee especially to listen out to someone without interrupting. Let the person express fully. It's so difficult. In the recent held ISKCON Leadership Sangha, one Prabhupada disciple said, we have many great speakers in our movement, but very few good listeners. It is very difficult to listen out to someone. It's much easier to be a good speaker. It is very difficult to be a good listener. Therefore, Krishna also tells Arjuna again and again, Tashrunu, hear this. Hear this. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, Jayo Shota Gana Shuna Kari Ekamana. Oh, my dear readers, please listen these wonderful pastimes with one pointed attention. Don't be distracted. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita is filled with direct instructions. Listen. Listen. So therefore listening is not just a caring skill, it is a life skill. The whole quality of our life depends on the quality of our listening. Actually. The quality of our life depends on the quality of our listening. Both material and spiritual life. Just imagine the university we go. What's the difference between a top university and a mediocre university? The quality of sound vibration, the quality of our listening. What kind of quality of sound vibration we have interacted with, that determines our material life. And similarly, what's the quality of our listening in spiritual life? How well we listen to Bhagavatam, to the holy name, that determines the quality of spiritual life. Quality of one's life is in direct proportion to the quality of one's listening. So listening is one of the most important skills for all the devotees, for the leaders especially. It's so difficult to listen out. But the great kings used to go incognito and listen out what the common public is speaking. They wanted to listen out. They wanted to know what's the public opinion. Therefore, any great leader, any person who cares for others, must listen, must be open to listening. So try to be a better listener, and you will see that you will be so much caring for others, and more than that, you will become a great person. The quality of your life will drastically improve just by improving your listening. So that's another very great skill. To give you one just last example, one devotee, after serving 20 years, he left the association of devotees. He was not picking up anyone's phone. Jai Shri Radha Govinda Mata ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. So one devotee, he left the association and he would not pick up anyone's phone. And I didn't know that he has left. I just suddenly called him like that only. I said, let me talk to him. I called him one day and he picked up my phone. And then he started expressing. He said, look, I don't pick up anyone's phone. But I have picked up your phone because I have eaten prasadam cooked by you. I felt obliged to pick up your phone, he said. Because several times I ordered prasadam, I would cook often. He said, several times I ordered prasadam, therefore I picked up your phone. But tell me what you want. I said, why are you talking like this? What happened? Then he began to express all his heartbreaks, how he devotees dealt with him very insensitively, so on and so forth. He didn't felt encouraged, supported. He expressed that all. And I just said, oh, I feel so sorry. I feel so sorry. And then gradually, later he called me. He said, actually, I shouldn't have so much negativity. After he expressed all the negativity, later he called me and said, no, I should not have so much negativity. I have left Krishna consciousness, but now after talking to you, I feel I should come back. I said, can I come to meet you? He said, yes, please, I am looking forward. I went to meet him, he expressed himself. This time he was less negative. But after expressing again, he felt light-hearted and gradually came back. I didn't do anything to listen him out. I had no solution to listen him out. I invested time in him because he has spent so many years practicing Krishna consciousness and serving. So just by listening out, we can help a devotee so much, feel connected, so on. So this is another very important skill. Try to be a good listener. Hare Krishna. Yes, Lucian Prabhu wants to share something. Yes.
Listening. So you're talking about importance of listening. So most of the times, the scenario you gave, we face that also sometimes that you sit and listen to the problem and his problems or the situation he's in. How to deal with the situation that he's criticizing the devotees. I know he's hurt because of them, or probably he's perceiving like that, or we are in management. Sometimes we also it's not fair. This devotee was not that unfair to you. He's definitely trying to genuinely help you, and you must should we interrupt or should we?
Okay. Thank you for this question. If someone is a nice devotee, he's not a blasphemer, a nice devotee practicing, but has felt hurt and expresses one's feelings of being hurt, and seemingly is criticizing other, this devotee did that to me. Is this hearing Vaishnava blasphemy? Actually not. Because we are only trying to help the devotee went out. Because Lord Chaitanya in his teaching says, Mayavadi bhashya sunina hai sarvanash. One who hears Mayavad, that person will be ruined. But he himself heard Mayavad for 7 days. From Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Why? Because he had so much need to express, and Lord Chaitanya had to give him an ear so that he could vent out. And then his space was created in his heart to receive. So at times devotees have difficult feelings. Someone needs to give them an ear so they can vent it out. If they are not habituated to criticize again and again. At least first time we give them an opportunity, let them express. So austerity is difficult. May not be possible for everyone. But some senior devotee who can digest and not be affected, give them an ear and then give some positivity. Once the heart is empty with all the negativity, give them some positive thoughts. So we need to have that positivity, and we need to have the capacity to not be affected by the negativity. So that is required for emotional healing. But we don't want that just some people who just want to say, don't want to change. So we have to use Therefore, listening means use head also. Keep the discretion on. We want to hear from the heart, empathize, have our discretion on the head. We don't want our time to be wasted by anyone and everyone. This is, we have to have discretion. With whom to spend how much time, invest, and we see the change. Are we able to help the person out? So all that has to be seen. So I want to thank you all so much for listening and sharing both ways. We got to listen from you all also. So now we come to the end of this devotee care seminar over here, and very grateful to all of you for giving us your ears to you all give the opportunity to speak and share this topic on devotee care. My extreme gratitude to Lochanand Prabhu and Mother Gandharvika Devi. When we wrote the email, Garam wrote the email to the leaders in Europe that we are going to travel to conduct this devotee care training, Lochanand Prabhu was the first one to respond, we ordered hostel. So he is a very pro-devotee care leader. I want to congratulate you for that. And of course, Mother Gandharvika Devi, she also, also very busy in managing, working very hard, but she took out time somehow, and she was sitting right here yesterday, day before, listening to this devotee care. So thank you so much. Before we just depart, I have one request to you. I would like to invite some of you, maybe 4 or 5 of you, to just share for 1 minute your experience of this devotee care training. What you found to be helpful, useful, and this is especially for those who have been attending like yesterday, today. We started day before. Those who have attended for the last 3 days or 2 days, they can just share their very precisely, very eloquently. Eloquence means speak the essence in few words. Just eloquent. In 1 minute, please share your realization of attending this devotee care training. And Simon Prabhu, I would request that devotee to please come here. Whoever wishes to share, maybe I can invite Mother Krishna Kirtana Devi to begin. She has been right there from the day 1. You could sit here and just share your Yes. You can see that also from the background. Oh, we need to give the microphone? Oh, this is okay.
Yeah.
That is good.
Okay.
That is good.
Hare Krishna, thank you everyone for attending this wonderful seminar. So I was very surprised to get this information from Gandharvika, because we never had such a seminar in Mayapur, and I have been for nearly 50 years, and I can say I've been longing for this kind of education, training, seminar. One of the best experience I had in ISKCON was when I followed the training of the nectar instruction, because there I found so much comfort. It was so comforting. And this seminar is the second one that again awake me to this so important subject, to try to understand each other, to try to console, to help, because it's a big challenging movement. We are actually fighting against Maya. And for every one of us, we have many challenges in daily life. And this training is reminding us of all these important points Srila Prabhupada gave us, taught us, and that have been neglected for more than 40 years. And so many devotees came and left again. And for me it's a big despair when I see all these devotees who dropped everything, who joined Krishna consciousness full time, who did so much service, and after they go away. And we can say, oh, they are fools, they don't chant properly, they don't read properly. But for me, our responsibility is the most important. Because we were running for our own spiritual perfection without caring for helping those who have difficulties in Krishna consciousness. And when I hear all these verses, what is most pleasing to Krishna is to serve the devotees. And how Lord Shiva is training his wife. And all these important verses, how to please, serve the devotees, help the devotees, is more pleasing to Krishna than serving him personally. So we have all these wonderful verses, even in India, they always say, you are doing arti, there is somebody coming, you should drop and serve the guest coming. Always give prasad before the person leaves. All this training is there in the Vaishnava tradition, but it has not been emphasized in ISKCON. So I'm very grateful that we are taking this subject seriously, and we have all these instructions now to remind us of all these details, so that we can read again and again to remember and to practice in our daily life. So thank you everyone for participating.
Hare Krishna, thank you for expressing your heart. Wherever you're sitting, I have the microphone to you, Prabhu. You can just turn your chair here and it's okay, or you can come. But very eloquently, 1 minute, so that we can all break for lunch soon. I'll request you to please speak.
Yes, with the years. So with the years of practicing Aja consciousness, we come to the point of becoming more personal with each other. Actually, we are better to know the heart how to live together, because we are going to live together forever. Better to know the heart how to live together, because we are going to live together forever.
Thank you, Devotee Prabhu, for the words of wisdom. I have Mother Sita Priya Devi to speak for a minute, and then Dhananjay Prabhu after that. Dhananjay Prabhu has translated this course to French, so he has heard every word of our course.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. What I really feeling with this seminar is this the mood of Vrindavana. If you want to enter in the mood of Vrindavana, you need to become the servant of the servant of the servant. This is what really touched me, because I tried to understand this for many years, and this has touched me a lot. Thank you very much for the teachers. They are really dedicated for the Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, and I'm really very grateful. Thank you very much.
Dhananjay Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Yes, finally they're coming, and we are finding some ears to hear this important message, and I'm finding some head speaker now. I'm very glad that you convey this message that is very dear to my heart. And I hope that now that we hear everyone this important message, that we take some steps to really apply something, so that devotees feel the real appreciation, affection one for another, and that everyone who is coming there is never flowing back again.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Kirtida has been right in the front sitting. Our next generation of devotees, the younger one, and even Jayanta. So at least I will invite now Kirtida and to speak, share her realization of attending the devotee care training.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Growing up in ISKCON, I really felt sometimes not understood, and I think this course really can help in so many ways, and I'm really grateful. I learned a lot, and I hope I can apply some of it. So please bless me.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Kirtida. Thank you. Okay, if someone would like to share, now I make it open. Someone would like to share? Before I invite Lojanan Prabhu?
Krishna Charana.
Devotee's desire.
Yes.
Krishna. It was true, it was a nice seminar, but what my feeling when I hear all what he has said is a big responsibility to coach, to help devotee and listen. We need really help to know how to do it and do it nicely, because we can hurt the person, or we can, so many things can happen. So I had that little bit, that feeling is a big responsibility. But you gave many possibilities, and I hope we could make it in New Mayapur and be together to help the new devotee and all devotees too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mother Krishna Charanand. Yes, yes. Mother Ananda. You want to sit here? Okay, we can turn the camera to you.
Hare Krishna, thank you to have come to Mayapur. I hope after this seminar I will appreciate. It begins by appreciating the devotees, because the tendency we have been raised to be proud of ourselves in school, everywhere, to be competitive with others. So when I came, I was appreciative of the devotees, superficially, but not really in my heart. So if I can do that, if I can be appreciative, I have a hope to stay in Krishna consciousness with the devotees. It's not easy, because we have tendency to put others down, to judge, and this is a very big challenge. And it's a challenge, but it's the key to appreciate. That's all I want to say.
Thank you, Mother Ananda, for sharing your visualization. Now yes, Mother Gandharvika, Mother Gaurangi, they want to hear from you.
Well, just got a little. I feel like I feel like participating and hearing the whole course, and also that we keep doing it here, these kind of exercises and listening to each other. And anyway, we got a long ways to go. So anyway, you're just helping us get out of the, I don't know how you call it, the ditch. We have a lot of things to do here, and That's why Krishna keeps us here, keep this place, so we keep progressing. Okay, we go back to Godhead. That's the goal. You can't forget the goal.
What in the course, one aspect of the course which you liked?
I like it all, but it's...
Any particular point like to share?
It's going too fast for me,
Okay.
I'm in slow motion, and it's just like... So I took notes, and that's the thing, I think it's better to have less, but concentrate and do exercises. That's my suggestion. Because otherwise it just goes... No, it's something to reflect on. It's not just a few hours like that. We're going to be able to discuss it and to implement something, Even little things.
Yes. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I now invite Lochanan Prabhu. Lochanan Prabhu also has some special Mahaprasadam from Radha, Madhan Govinda. You want to end on a sweet note of this speak and then you have some special Mahaprasadam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you Madhan, Sundar Prabhu, Damodar Prabhu for coming to New Mayapur. They are traveling and giving these courses. One thing, I spent 3 days with them. There is a famous conversation with Sanatana Goswami and Haridas Thakur that explained that some like to preach, they don't have the behavior. Some have the behavior, they don't preach. But Sanatana Goswami tells Haridas Thakur, you are the combination of both. So I see them both. Usually devotee care, I was thinking, a lot of talk. There may not be so much example of it, but they both are, you can see Prabhu has been sick since he arrived, but he never, stopped, paused, he prepared himself and giving himself 100%. I can see him, he was coughing, but still, so I really appreciate both of them for their giving 100% their heart to bring devotees closer, putting these courses together. It's very nice the way you show examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita. You give us like exercises that we can meditate. Sorry, many times we were in and out, we were missing out. So we are very grateful. It's the beginning. We can do more of these exercises that our minds get absorbed, how we can serve devotees, how we can serve each other better. Bhagavatam is there, Chaitanya Charitamrita is there to put the light on from the Shastra to how we can care for each other is really unique. And we can see Chowpatty temple, they just don't talk about it, they do it. So this is another unique feature. We got the good fortune of attending Radhanath Maharaj's Jagannath Puri Yatra. If you have the desire, Krishna fulfills. That's the point I'm trying to make. We have to have the desire within, and Krishna facilitates with devotees like this. To see 10,000 devotees being so well served, thinking of the number itself, how we're going to serve prasadam, but we never waited more than 10 minutes in the line. And your plates were washed. So we have to have this deep desire, how the sadhus do it, and we want to follow them. So they are the torch bearers from this place where they live devotee care. So let's take advantage and appreciate them with a big Haribol. I hope they will come back. Maybe we can do yearly twice. One time summer, one time winter. We can develop this devotee care the center for Europe. Thank you so much. And they're traveling also. As you know, traveling is not cheap. We can show they don't demand any money from us. They're very kind. If you could kindly give little donation for their travel expenses, they're doing it on their behalf of Radhanath Maharaj. So okay. GPC Devotee Care and Radhana Swami Maharaj. Okay, thank you very much. And Hare Krishna. We'll have a play at 1:30, and actually Prabhus are leaving us today, like in half an hour or so. So if devotees would like to give a little donation, you're welcome to do it now or a little bit later. We thank you all for being here once again. We're grateful that if devotees don't come, we cannot do anything. So we're grateful that we can build this community. It's one thing I would like to take from both of you. You emphasized you are not shy to tell when the leaders are caring. It shows on the community. So we will try to do our best that how we can try to serve devotees better. And we hope you will come back and remind us regularly that how we can improve. Okay, we would like to take a group photo whenever it's possible.
Yeah, we can
assemble there only. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
here only.
Okay.
Okay, let's quickly have a good photo. The light is coming from this side. Here we could just all, some of us can sit, stand.
Or else, we just move here to the Prabhupada. So we'll just center on Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada in the middle and we all line up on the other side.
Oh, Prabhupada, okay. So the light is coming from here. You can close it.
We will all come closer to Prabhupada Vyasasan.
Like this, we can stand.
And then Prabhupada is also with us in the photo.
It will be difficult. It will be difficult for so many people.
Some people can sit ahead.
No, still when you stand, let's do it. It will be here. Put 4-5 chairs here. This corner is better.
While we're getting ready, we would like to show our appreciation to the devotees who came from Rotterdam.
Yes.
You all made it happen. Thank you.
Are we on both sides now? Yeah, like both sides, huh? Yeah, I need to move the camera a bit.
Okay, first one will come here and
We'll see.
Yes. Okay, now some of you will have to just. Yes. Hello, Prabhu. Is it okay? Yeah. Some of you can stand here. Some of you can come this side.
It's okay.
Some of you can stand this side. It's okay?
Yes, sir.
Mataji! Oh. There is room here. Krishna on this side. Bigger room on this side. Yes.
Hare Krishna, please say Prabhupada.
Devotee Care Seminar ki
Jai.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Rohit, you come sit here. I'll make another picture with you also.
Yes, Prabhu.
Devotee Care ki Jai.
New Mayapur Community King.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Extended the support. Okay, there is some prasadam for all of you. Our court will not end on a dry note. Because at Krishna consciousness is not dry philosophy. Yes. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Non, non, j'ai pas envie d'être malade. Je suis désolée.